So I just bought the Star Wars Outlaws for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm just gonna compare, how this game runs on this Nintendo Switch 2 in comparison to the MSI Claw 8 AI. They're both 8-inch devices. Well, the Switch 2 is a 7.9 inch, but I just wanted to see how the game looks on these two 8-inch handhelds. Now, none of these are OLED, so they're both LCD panels, and yeah, let's just see how it plays. So first of all, I'm going to try it on the Switch 2, and in the settings we don't really have any graphic settings. I will turn the motion blur to 5, and as you can see, we don't really get much else, so let's just see what it looks like. The resolution seems quite good on this game. I'm pretty sure they're using 1080p with some kind of DLSS upscaling, but regards to the resolution and the anti-aliasing, it looks pretty good. The colors are not too bad as well, although the screen is not as bright as I would like it to. So obviously you can change that in the settings, but it's going to turn into max auto. It looks pretty good. You can of course turn it into the maximum brightness, which is this. Now, the only problem I have with this on the Switch 2 is the frame rate. I'm used to playing at least 60 FPS, so playing a game at 30 FPS just feels like a massive downgrade. Doesn't look good at all to me. I mean, the frame rate seems so choppy. I'm not sure if you guys can see it in the video, but it just looks so choppy. Really choppy. If you're used to 30 FPS, this is great, but I'm just gonna play for a bit more. So let's hop on the speeder. Now when you get on the speeder, the haptic feedback on the controllers is really nice. It feels like you're actually on the speeder, so Nintendo has done a really good job when it comes to the feedback on the controllers. But the frame rate is just horrible. 30 FPS. Feels like even it's going into the 20s. So now I'm gonna try Star Wars Outlaws on the MSI Claw 8 AI. So going into the settings, I am using 800p, and I'm using FSR3 with frame generation on, and upscaler quality is performance. I'm using, as you can see from here, 21 watts, and it's very smooth, seems very sharp. It's actually, well, it seems sharper than on the Nintendo Switch 2, even though the Nintendo Switch 2 is running the game at 1080p and this is only 800p. Because of the upscalers used in the Switch 2 and the MSI Claw 8, it actually looks sharp on the MSI Claw 8. And yeah, it's very smooth, much smoother than the Switch 2. And it looks a bit sharper as well, with better colors and overall better quality. So I'm just going to turn the frame generation off just to see what kind of FPS we get. So without frame generation, I am getting mid 40s, low 40s, even going into the 30s. And it's, in terms of the frame rate, it's looking a bit choppy now, closer to what the Switch 2 looks like. So in this game you really do need frame generation to make it look smooth. So it's running at 21 TDP, 21 watts. I'm just going to increase the TDP to the max, 30 watts, just to see what kind of performance we get. So now it should be smoother. Well, actually, that didn't help that much. It's still in the 40s. So, not very good. I'm just gonna turn it back down. So the sweet spot I think is about 23 on the PL1 and 24 on the, or 25 on the PL2. And turn frame generation on for the best quality. And this is basically the best way to play, at least in my opinion. With regards to the total power used, it's about 34, 33. Well, the 80 watt hour battery on this MSI Claw 8, well, 80 divided by 33 should give you about 2.5 hours of gameplay. On the Switch 2 you get about 2 hours, so in this you get double the frame, much more battery life, and much better image quality compared to the Switch 2. The Switch 2 does have better haptic feedback. So yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.